Hey Gemini, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here doing, your, nice. What am I doing? October tarot reading. So thanks for joining me. Hope you guys are doing well. Your cards are popping out. We got an extra one. I'm using the Barbara Moore Silver Witchcraft Tarot and the Druid Craft Tarot. So I'm doing categories. I'm doing one for work, one for home, and one for relationships. Oops. All right, so let's get started. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands. And this is a really interesting card because it's a card that it's learning how to stand up for yourself without getting defensive or kind of stooping to someone else's level. So and not allowing someone to take your power. So if someone's asking you at work, for example, to clarify something, and do you instantly take that personally and send back sort of a snippy email saying, well, if you had read my email from this day, you would see that it clearly explains such and such and such? Or do you say, okay, the person, that happens all the time, people don't read every part of an email, and I should try to make them more concise, understanding that. But anyway, we're in the situation, and do you write back an email just very nicely clarifying for the person? It's like, why in some situations do you allow people to get you, what's that saying? Whatever, put you on the defensive, and it can be, those are often like visceral reactions from childhood, even from past situations. If you had, coworkers or a boss that was always challenging, you was always like nitpicking and trying to find things wrong, then you're going to be a little defensive just viscerally because of those past experiences. So this is asking you to really look at places in your life when people sort of get you back on your heels, and you feel cornered, and are they really doing that to you, or are you, I don't want to say overreacting because I don't want to devalue what you're feeling, but are you maybe incorporating some past experiences that make you more sensitive than maybe you need to be? So learning how to defend yourself without getting upset or letting people put you on the defensive. That's sort of giving your power away. Don't give your power away to other people. And with the Death card, it's kind of like really transforming this month how you deal with situations, how you react to situations, and understanding that you're in charge of your reactions and no one else's, regardless of how they approach you, what they do to you, what they say to you. You are still 100% in control of how you react to things. So there's a transformation in how you deal with people going on this month. And it may very well for some of you be in the work category, because we do have the Five of Wands. You can see the little kitties kind of play fighting, at least down there. This is another duality card of competition, but how do you look at competition? Is it friendly competition that's motivating? And I always like to use the example of people who run in 5Ks on the weekend. It's a great way to stay motivated throughout the week. And so that competition is very friendly and positive. But if you become like obsessed with beating other people, and you get down and it becomes obsessive, and it sort of sucks the fun out of it. It's not just a nice motivating way to keep your running routine up. It becomes a burden almost. So is the competition in the workplace friendly, or is it creating conflict? And why is it creating? Is it really creating conflict, or are you feeling insecure? Are you worried about not being good enough? So exploring those types of themes. And once you do sort of really examine, like, why am I feeling that way? Why am I feeling defensive? Why am I feeling threatened? That you can feel very threatened by this card. Is that valid? And when you start to examine some of those things and maybe realize that, I don't need to overreact just because someone didn't read an email. Like, calm down. Like, why am I doing that? And I don't need, just because someone does a good job and gets recognized, has nothing to do with me. It doesn't mean I'm not doing a good job just because I didn't get recognized. They, for whatever reason, were the ones that got recognized. Like, that's okay. And when you can start to approach things from that manner, it's going to be very healing for you. And you're going to derive a lot of confidence because you're like, I can deal with situations without getting defensive, without feeling threatened. Because not everything that happens is personal. It has to do with me. And I think that change, shifting that mindset is really going to free you up and bring a lot of happiness and calmness to your life. In the home category, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. What this is saying, this is speaking to me about it is, even though it's a home category and I have a relationship category down here, it's speaking to me about relationships in your home. Now, it could just be a roommate, could be family member, could be, a marriage partner or a live-in significant other. It doesn't have to only be a love relationship. But relationships go through ups and downs. A relationship is a process. It's a constantly evolving almost entity unto itself. No two relationships are the same. There's just so many factors with different personalities and different situations that people have to navigate through, that they evolve over time and they don't stay stagnant or static, which is a good thing. I mean, if everything's great, yeah, of course you don't want it to change, but it's inevitable. And that's what this card is about, things being a process and being patient and understanding that things evolve. I mean, there may be some times that people in your home environment are going through a tough time, and you need to allow them to go through that process, to have that time to think about things, to process things, to work through things. They may have things going on that don't have anything to do with you, but because you live in the same home, you do feel the effects, and you have to try to separate yourself from those effects and realize, they're going through their own thing, and I need to honor that and respect that and give it the time it needs, because it's going to take as long as it takes. And trying to force someone into something, get over yourself, get over that mood, get over this. That's not helpful. Like, there's this meme going around that I love that says no one has, in the history of calming down, no one has ever calmed down by being told to calm down. And my son and I joke about this because he'll be, whatever, he's 10, he'll be having a little bit of a meltdown about something, and I'll sort of joke and I'll be like, calm down. And we start laughing because we know it's like my instinct is to say, calm down. And it's not helpful. So he knows I'm joking and it helps to break the ice. But if he was really, really mad and I was like, calm down, like, that's not that's not going to help. So trying to give people their space and allowing to work through their process that they need to process things. This reading is just really all about inner work and how you respond to things and your perspective of things and whether you're taking things personally and sort of looking at things from different angles, different aspects. And you guys are great at this because you're an air sign. You're so thoughtful and introspective, and you should be, and duality, like the Gemini, you're going to be really good at seeing both sides, and you're really going to start incorporating that talent that your sign has naturally into how you navigate through the world. So in the relationships, we have the Three of Pentacles. You guys are really working on your relationships. It goes back to the home, where learning to respect what your partner or the people you have relationships with, what they need, how they function, how they go through, what their process is, and respecting that. You do have the Five of Cups. Some of you may have been patient with a situation and are like, you know what, there's one thing allowing a process to happen, and then it gets to the point where this is just the way it is, and it's not a process, it's the way the person is. And then you may need to make some decisions, and some of you may walk away, and that's okay. Someone may be grieving someone you're having a relationship may be grieving from something else in their life, and that can be really hard to be. You're kind of powerless. Like, say your significant other lost their a parent. All you can do is be there for them, and it can be really hard, because I think sometimes people get frustrated. Like, come on, you want to be like, come on, get over it. You got to move on. But I think that stems from just being powerless to help them and seeing them in pain for so long. It's not comfortable. It's not fun.